What's going on, guys? This is the Experienced Optimist, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about hypergamy. I was thinking about it, and there's a lot of guys online that talks about hypergamy as being natural for women. Um, Women naturally want to trade up and get more out of relationships, and this is related to nature. And I think this is complete bullshit. I think hypergamy is greed, plain and simple. And the reason why I say this is because many women, they try to trade up, they try to find the bigger, better deal, and they always end up, most of the time, unhappy because they are insatiable and because they are never satisfied. And men have said that the reason why they are hypergamous, the reason why they trade up, is because they find a better man with more resources. And I believe this is complete nonsense. And I'm going to explain why. Like I said before in other videos, women are the shady friends in every relationship. And if you've ever had a shady friend, you know that shady friends do the exact same thing. They try to trade up from other friends. They try to find the bigger, better deal. And they always, for the most part, end up screwing their lives up. These are shady friends who are men or women. Let me give you an example of a shady friend from the movies. There's a movie called Rounders. It stars Matt Damon and Edward Norton. In this movie, Edward Norton is the shady friend. When Edward Norton and Matt Damon were young in this movie, Edward Norton, the typical shady friend, he did something to help Matt Damon out. He took the rap for something that both of them did in school, and he ended up going to jail. Now, Edward Norton gets out of jail. He's in debt. He's been losing money, I believe. He's been scamming people and things of that nature. And Matt Damon, because Edward Norton took the rap for him and went to jail and all that, he feels that he owes Edward Norton something. So what happens is Matt Damon ends up the entire movie trying to help Edward Norton out. But the problem is Edward Norton is a shady friend. And like I said about shady friends and women, Edward Norton is sabotaging himself throughout the whole movie. He's basically always looking for the bigger, better deal to not only get himself out of trouble, but to make extra money. And by doing this, he puts both his life and Matt Damon's life in jeopardy. And this is the same thing I see with women in hypergamy. Hypergamy is just greed. In the movie, Edward Norton could have been making money to pay off his debt slowly and not gotten into trouble, but he was greedy. He tried to hustle others. He tried to cheat when he could have easily just played straight at poker and won money. And that was the reason why he got into trouble. Matt Damon tried to warn him. Matt Damon tried to tell him, just follow his plan and everything will be all right. Just like how men tell women, listen, just follow my plan, stick with me, I'm a good guy, I'll be there for you, I'll take care of everything, just listen to me and you'll be all right. But what does the woman do? She's greedy. I don't want to listen to you. I'm hypergamous. I want the bigger, better deal. So what does she do? She goes out. She tries to do things on her own terms. Yeah, she may get a guy who's maybe has more money, whatever. But a lot of times the guy's an asshole or he's not providing for her like the good guy did, and she ends up being all alone later on and in a worse position later on in life. Sometimes on the surface it may seem like she has more. The guy's making more money, but the guy's dull or he has nice cars, he flies all over the world, but he never has time for her. She would have been much happier had she stayed with the guy maybe who was a nicer guy, he made less money, but everything else, she would have been fulfilled emotionally. Um, she would have been fulfilled psychologically, and she would have had a better overall life. But her hypergamy, aka greed, got the better of her. Now, in this movie, Rounders, at the end of the movie, because Edward Norton is fucking up so bad, he's so greedy, Matt Damon eventually wins all the money back that Edward Norton needs. He pays off the card shark, and that is the end of the relationship between him and Edward Norton. Had Edward Norton just listened to him, they would still be friends to that day. But just like most women and the shady friends, they don't listen. They always try to do things their way. And because they try to do things their way, they fuck their lives up. So when I hear people talk about hypergamy, this is natural, women do this all the time, in nature you see it all the time. Well, what about the shady friends, male friends? The shady male friends do it all the time, so what's this natural instinct to do that if you're a man? To have a friend that's good, who went to bat for you when the chips were down, but then you betray him to try to be friends with some other asshole. This happens with men and it happens with women. Hypergamy is nothing but greed. That's it. I was just thinking about this because I just got sick of men making excuses for women that their hypergamous nature, greedy nature, is natural. If we lived in a society that allowed men to be as hypergamous, aka greedy, as women, men would do it. You see this with the shady friends that are male. But because men are expected to be honorable, disposable, they're expected to take the heat for everyone around them. That's why men are not as hypergamous or greedy as women. But anyway, if you like this video, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support other MGTOW channels, and I will talk to you later.